AI video tools are evolving fast, and it's getting hard to keep track of all the new models. So I tested all of them. Which one's the most realistic? Which one's the most cinematic? In this guide, I'll be doing a complete comparison of all the different AI video generators and rank them based on animation quality, how realistic they are, and the price. First up is the Google Veo model. A staple in anyone's AI video generator toolkit, Google Veo 3 shines at the wide variety of different types of AI videos it can generate, whether it's a more imaginative sci-fi scene or a video from a historical drama. As far as the AI animation quality goes, I'd say it's very good, but it isn't top tier. For this shot, I told the alien organism to grow a little bit and for the astronaut to fall back in shock. It really does have a hard time following my prompt. Now, the movements and the physics of her motion looks natural in the sense that her body doesn't deform into like a weird shape. However, this scene doesn't really make any sense. I want her to just directly stumble backwards. It does do a better job at more realistic scenes. I created a few shots of the American Revolution, and for more static up-close videos of the person, movements, the facial expressions are pretty lifelike. Now for this video ranking, I'm going to be comparing the different AI video models through image to video. And what that means is I'll be uploading reference images of my scenes into the different video models like I've done here with Google Veo, and then putting in a prompt with instructions for how to animate the different scenes. Here, I specifically prompted for him to quietly stalk behind the British soldiers while crouching down a little bit. It isn't really able to bring those motions to life. Another key feature for these AI video models is a start and end frame feature, where you can upload the first frame of the video. In this case, the first frame is going to be a shot of the astronaut inspecting the alien species in the jar. And that last frame is going to be an overhead shot of the alien creature crawling on the table. And then for the instructions, I'm going to tell her to open the jar and for the alien specimen to crawl onto the table. So the jar opening part of this isn't very realistic. She opens the lid, puts it on the jar, and has this weird unscrewing motion. So sometimes it doesn't interpret the movements you want that well. While you can create some pretty advanced camera movements in Google Veo using the start and end frame technique, especially for camera rotations, zoom-ins, zoom-outs, camera pans, things like that. One of Veo's strong points is its ability to animate character dialogue. The voices and the facial expressions, for the most part, are pretty realistic.
If God is willing, I will return to my family's farm. The fields need tending, and there is honest work there.
Where you're going to run into trouble is when you're trying to combine the character dialogue with movements. In this next shot, I'm going to tell her to talk and also open the car door at the same time.
Water comes first. Food can wait a little longer. If I can find shade before the sun climbs any higher, I might make it through the day.
And her hand, instead of actually grabbing the door handle, it looks like she just grabs a random part of the vehicle door. So in Veo, it's going to cost $1 for each 8-second video. There is a faster mode with a bit lower quality that lets you animate the videos for 20 cents each. So I think for now, I'm going to put Veo 3 in the B tier. Definitely solid. Audio is great, but I think the lower quality details in some of the videos, also with the struggles of animating some more complicated movements, I think there are still weaknesses, even though it's very good. Next up is OpenAI's SORA AI video generator. This is kind of a weird one. So SORA is really designed and meant for social media, like these memes, brain rot type of AI videos. I think it's pretty useless when it comes to image to video. If you're trying to use your own image references, it doesn't let you upload any images with people in them. And it has a huge amount of censorship in general for image to video. However, it is a very, very powerful tool for like short form content, TikTok, Reels, stuff like that.
Good evening. If you stepped outside in New York City tonight, chances are you didn't just get wet, you got sauced. What started as a few unusual reports of pasta falling from the sky has turned into a full-fledged emergency. Giant meatballs and spaghetti are raining down across the 5 boroughs.
So these are a couple that I generated myself. Not the most cinematic looking videos, but in terms of realism for these specific types of memes and stuff like that, it's definitely the best. There's quite a few different styles, whether it's like a news anchor, a selfie style, handheld, golden hour anime, and you can see all kinds of crazy stuff going on. They also have this AI avatar tool where, you can render videos of celebrities, influencers. You can also teach it to create meme videos of yourself if you want. So here's one I created of Jake Paul.
I got a full plate and I'm working on speed, man. That crunch is wild. I've been thinking about it for a while, competing.
So this is the basic idea of type of AI videos that people are making using SORA. I think the potential is extremely high for this tool. Unfortunately, it's just so restrictive and it can only be applied to one specific niche of making meme content. So to rate SORA, if you're specifically want to use it to make memes, brain rot content, try to go viral on social media, I would say it's A tier. It's the best. For pretty much anything else, I would say it's D tier. You're not going to be able to use this to create like a AI animation. If you're an AI filmmaker, if you want to use it to make an AI music video, it can't do any of those things. But I think I'm just going to judge it specifically for the niche market that it's designed for. And so I'm going to put it in A, but with the caveat that it's only useful for brain rot content. The next AI video generator we're ranking is Kling AI. What Kling AI does well that the other models we've seen so far don't is a high quality of sharpness in the details. The movements and motions are smooth and pretty lifelike. Some of these shots of the alien scene really capture the unnerving feeling in the scene. It feels suspenseful, a little creepy. And this animation of the alien slime looks pretty amazing. Now, it's not perfect. Here's that scene of the astronaut falling down again. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe she got like paralyzed or something. So for big movements and motions, it still does struggle. But overall, its ability to understand your prompts is one of the highest. It can animate a huge variety of different video types. I'm going to tell it to shift the focus from the man to the soldiers walking away. And specifically, I want the soldiers to be walking away from him. And taking a look at the scene right here, it pretty much follows my directions exactly. But for more straightforward emotions, like this soldier stalking the enemy, it's able to animate that crouching motion, him slowly walking behind and trying to be stealthy pretty accurately. You won't see a lot of like big physical deformities, people suddenly changing shape, things like that. It does also come with that start and end frames feature where we're showing the first frame and the last frame, and it's able to chain them together very smoothly. When it comes to creating different camera movements, I would say Kling is definitely one of the better ones. There's still room for improvement. The alien slime crawling out of the jar, it looks like he just slides straight through the glass, but you typically won't notice any major problems. Kling AI also does generate AI audio, and with the newest update, you can generate AI characters talking directly through the prompt as well.
I thought leaving would make things clearer. But the farther I drive, the more I realize I don't know what I'm looking for.
I will say that the voices definitely need some work. It does have that kind of like hollow podcast style sound to them and doesn't necessarily match the way the characters look that well.
If I can find shade before the sun climbs any higher, I might make it through the day.
In Kling AI, each video is going to cost around $1. So in the same ballpark as Google Veil. So I think Kling AI is going to be in the A tier. Actually, put it in front of SORA. It animates a huge variety of different videos, motions, and movements. It has good sharpness of detail, and it's moving in the right direction with the AI audio features. I don't think the AI audio is as good as Veil 3, but I think the superior animation quality is going to put it above Google Veil 3. One thing that can get pretty frustrating is that there's always these new AI video models come out. So even though right now I think Kling AI has better animation than Google Veil, in a few weeks or a few months from now, Google Veil might come out with a new model that's better than Kling. You might feel like you're getting left behind if you don't also get access to all the other AI video generators that are constantly updating and coming out with new models. That's where these aggregator type of platforms come in. They're all-in-one platforms that put all the best AI video models together in one place for you to use. Here's InVideo AI, and you see that it has the Kling models, but also Veil, SORA. Platforms like this are really, really useful because it gives you the benefit of all the best AI video generators without committing to any particular one. So if I had this shot of my character, and I want to see what it looks like when I make an AI video of her in 3 different models. Let's say Google Veil 3, Kling 2.6, and also the new one 2.6 model. I can do that all inside just one platform. So back inside InVideo, I created 3 videos of the same character using 3 different AI video generators. So first off, this one was made in Google Veil 3. Let's take a look.
Bend the knee. Whew. And pray I do not ask for more.
Okay, I think this one looks pretty good. I'm not sure I like the way she's reaching her palm out like that though. Let's see how the other video generators did. This one was made in Kling.
Bend the knee. And pray I do not ask for more.
So at the beginning of the video clip, there is this little bit of weird deformity around her hand area when she's pulling her hand up. But we can cut that out, and her face is definitely a lot more expressive compared to the Google animation. Now let's also take a look at the WAN 2.6 model.
Bend the knee. And pray I do not ask for more.
So it does animate all the movements correctly, but she doesn't really come across as like this evil, mean, tough person. Her face could use a bit more expressiveness, I think. So to use all these different AI video generators inside InVideo, make sure you go to Home and then find the agents and models. And inside here, you can see all the different available AI video generators, as well as all the different AI image generators as well if you need. Now I want to do a few more tests with the WAN 2.6 model to give it a fair shake. So if we click on WAN 2.6, you can create a new project, and I will attach my reference image, let's say for my astronaut character. And then down here, you can find a whole host of all the different AI video models that you can use. And it's not amazing. I feel like it doesn't really understand the world as much as other AI video models. Here, the alien inside the jar turns into a fish for some reason. Few of these, it's a little cartoony. I would say the animation quality is definitely not the worst, but it doesn't excel in any particular way either. I will say that for this one specific shot where I animated the astronaut stumbling backwards, it somehow actually generated the most realistic falling motion here. So when we break down the videos themselves, it does have a similar problem that Google Veil has, which is smoothing of the details. I think the video quality just doesn't look as sharp compared to its competitors. The details in the video just look like they've been smoothed out a little bit, like a lot of the color tones also look a little more bland. And WAN 2.6 does also animate speaking characters.
I thought leaving would make things clearer. But the farther I drive, the more realize I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, the lip sync just doesn't do it for me. I think the words just don't quite look like they match the way the mouth is moving.
Water comes first. Food can wait a little longer. If I can find shade before the sun climbs any higher.
For this one of the woman in the desert, it doesn't even look like she's opening her mouth to really speak at all. For one 2.6, it's one of the cheaper models. A 10-second video is going to cost around 65 cents. Where would I rank this? I think not the worst, but definitely in a lower tier. I think a C tier rating is fair. Lower quality animations compared to some of the others. And also the AI audio doesn't really work as well. Next, we'll be looking at Runway AI video. So the newest Runway Gen 4.5 model is still only text to video right now. So we'll be creating videos using just text prompts. So it definitely generates a huge amount of movement in its videos. First, you see the dynamic character animations, but also a super dynamic background with the buildings crumbling as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with any audio yet. So it feels a little bland. However, its strength of being able to generate a lot of movement is also its weakness. For a lot of these, even though the colors and the framing looks pretty cinematic, unfortunately, the person looks like she's just like completely deforming in all sorts of weird ways. If we put it next to Kling AI and compare the two of them, even though in Kling there's still a little bit of like deformity around the legs, it's able to maintain the shape of the person much closer compared to Runway. Here's another side-by-side of Runway compared to Kling. Both have some problems with how realistic the action looks. It seems a little disconnected the longer the video goes on. Now, Runway does also have image to video, although you'll need to use its older Gen 4 model. I would say that it's pretty hit or miss in general. I think Runway was the only one that animated this slime turning into like a waterfall. A lot of the human animations can be pretty funky for this astronaut. I really don't know what's going on there. Sometimes it struggles even with simple prompts. I just want him to take a deep breath to calm himself, and it actually looks like he gets startled here. Runway does have an unlimited plan for $95 per month. I would say that all the other plans aren't really worth it. For the $30 plan, you might only be able to get 10 usable videos from it. And so for Runway, I think I'm also going to put it in C tier. It's not the bottom of the barrel, but I've never felt like there was a time in the past year or two where they had like the top tier animation quality. There was always like 2 or 3 other AI video generators that I thought was better than it. And now let's take a look at the Seedance model. They recently came out with the 1.5 Pro model. Seedance is actually one of those sleeper AI video models. It does a really good job of preserving the quality of the details, just like Kling AI. And the animations are also pretty solid. It can do a wide variety of human movements. In this stalking scene, it does actually look like the guy's tracking down the redcoats in front of him. I will say that sometimes it does feel like it tries to adding a little bit too much movement, more than what I wanted. For some of these scenes, it has a hard time of keeping the camera static and just having some subtle movements for the characters. It tries to adding movements and camera motions that you didn't even ask for. For this was supposed to be a slow dolly zooming on her, and at the end, I'm not really sure what that camera effect is supposed to be or where it came from. Now it does fail in more complicated cases as well. For this astronaut falling backwards, you can judge for yourself. It twists and deforms her in kind of a weird way. But one of the more solid tools when you know how to use it right.
If God is willing, I will return to my family's farm. The fields need tending, and there is honest work there.
I think it's pretty good when it comes to the AI audio generation.
Water comes first. Food can wait a little longer. If I can find shade before the sun climbs any higher, I might make it through the day.
The speaking movements and the sound quality is solid. One of the issues it does have is with hands. Often it'll render an extra finger. Look closely at her hand, and there's definitely an extra finger on there. So if you use Seedance, it's going to cost around 52 cents per video, which is actually pretty good pricing compared to its competitors. I think it's solidly in the B tier. Really solid quality of details. When it works, it's great. The main issue with it though is just that inconsistency. Sometimes it adds in a little bit too much movement. And the pricing is also competitive. Now let's look at Grok's AI video generator, another one of the newcomers to the game. An interesting one for sure. Definitely one of the more imaginative AI video tools out there. You see the alien slime actually turns into a full-fledged humanoid creature. The videos themselves are generated in a bit of a lower quality. The details are washed out a little bit here. Decent for smaller and more subtle movements, like him aiming his rifle. But once we get into generating videos that require a better world understanding, it's gonna struggle. Here for this shot, it just doesn't make any sense. This is supposed to be an intense, quiet stalking scene, and then there's just redcoats appearing out of nowhere everywhere.
If God is willing, I will return to my family's farm. The fields need tending and there is honest work there.
One thing about Grok is that the videos generated are 5 seconds long, and so if you had a longer dialogue you wanted to say, it's going to try to make the character speak a lot faster.
Water comes first. Food can wait a little longer. If I can find shade before the sun climbs any higher, I might make it through the day.
Doesn't always have great rhythm. It's kind of like SORA, where it sounds like just a robot reading off a script.
I thought leaving would make things clearer. But the farther I drive, the more I realize I don't know what I'm looking for.
There's not much intonation or emotion in the way the characters speak. Now, I signed up for Grok just using my X account, and I didn't pay for any subscription, and I think you're able to generate 20 videos a day, which is definitely a big upside. So I think Grok is another one that's in the C tier. Pretty limited overall. It's not the best in any particular aspect, but free to try and pretty creative. Next up is Midjourney. One of the coolest things about the Midjourney video generator is every time you run it, it'll actually create 4 separate videos for you. So you can pick and choose between them to find the one that works the best. The detail quality is also pretty good. It doesn't look like there's a lot of smoothing of the details. Things look sharp and crisp. The positives unfortunately ended there. In this shot of the astronaut opening up the jar, the movements just look very choppy to me. It gets the general idea down, but the execution is just bad. In this shot, I specifically prompt for the astronaut to be a female Asian with black hair. And in all the video clips that it generated for me, it definitely looks like she is brunette. So not the best at following your prompts either. All the videos seem to have these random small jittery movements, especially in the camera motion. It's almost impossible to get one where it's a static, non-moving camera. The physics and its understanding of the world really aren't that great. And when you combine that with the jitteriness in the videos, how it's always trying to add in new elements, these quick twitchy movements, it's just not that good. The main reason to use Midjourney is still its AI image model. I think it's still a very good AI image generator. And if you combine the AI image generation capabilities with its AI video model, it can be a decent option. Midjourney does have an unlimited plan at $120, but right now I have the $30 plan, and I've never found myself running out of video credits. So Midjourney, I think, for the AI video generator, I'm going to say it's D tier. I think there's just way better options out there for you. Next up is the Luma Ray AI video models. Definitely one that surprised me. I wasn't expecting much. I haven't really used Luma much, but I think the video quality is pretty good. It does a pretty good job of preserving the richness in the details of the video. It understands prompts very well and follows the instructions. I would say that especially if you want to create videos that have a large amount of movement in it, Luma Ray 3 is actually a pretty solid option. For this shot where I have the camera rotating around her as she walks towards the vehicle, it probably was the best result that I got.